A 67-year-old man woke up feeling completely fine. There was no chest pain, no heaviness, no shortness of breath, no dizziness, nothing that would make him think something was wrong. It felt like any other normal morning. He stretched slightly, swung his legs off the bed, and stood up quickly, just as he had done for years without thinking twice. His routine was simple and consistent. He walked to the bathroom, turned on the shower, and as part of a habit he had recently adopted, he set the water to cold. He had read online that cold showers improve circulation, boost energy, and build mental toughness. It sounded healthy, even beneficial, without hesitation. He stepped in. Within seconds, his body reacted, but he pushed through it, believing discomfort meant improvement. About 20 minutes later, his wife found him collapsed and unresponsive. She immediately called emergency services. That morning, I was the cardiac surgeon on call. I received the alert, scrubbed in, and prepared for emergency intervention. Cases like this are intense, urgent, and often unpredictable. Fortunately, in his case, we were able to stabilize him in time. He survived, but I want to be very clear, many others in similar situations do not. What happened to him was not random. It was not simply bad luck. It was the result of a chain of small, seemingly harmless morning habits that, when combined, created the perfect storm inside his cardiovascular system. These are habits millions of people follow every single day, especially those over the age of 60, without realizing the hidden risks involved. Today, I want to break this down for you step by step so you understand exactly what went wrong, why mornings can be dangerous for the heart, and most importantly, what simple changes you can make to protect yourself or someone you love starting tomorrow morning. To understand why this happened, we first need to talk about a pattern that has been consistently observed in cardiology for decades. Research has shown that heart attacks are significantly more likely to occur in the early morning hours, particularly between 6 o'clock a.m. and 10 o'clock a.m. The increase is not small, it's roughly a 40% higher risk compared to other times of the day. This phenomenon is known as the morning surge. It's not a theory. It's a well-documented physiological pattern. But what makes this time window so dangerous? The answer lies in how your body transitions from sleep to wakefulness. During sleep, your body is in a low-demand state, your heart rate lows, your blood pressure drops, and your nervous system activity is reduced. Everything is calm, steady, and energy efficient. However, as morning approaches, even before you wake up, your body begins preparing for the day ahead. Hormones like cortisol and adrenaline start increasing, signaling your system to become alert and active. This shift happens rapidly. By the time you open your eyes, your body is already accelerating. Your heart rate begins to rise, your blood pressure climbs, and your blood vessels start to tighten. This sudden transition is manageable when you're younger because your cardiovascular system is flexible and responsive. But after the age of 60, the situation changes. Blood vessels become stiffer, the heart may not adapt as quickly. And underlying plaque buildup in arteries becomes more common. This combination creates a vulnerable state where sudden changes can have serious consequences. The morning surge is essentially your body pressing the accelerator hard right after being at rest. And if the system isn't prepared, it can lead to dangerous outcomes. Now let's go deeper into what exactly happens inside your body during this morning surge. As cortisol levels rise, they trigger a cascade of physiological responses designed to wake you up and prepare you for activity. Adrenaline soon follows, amplifying the effect. Together, these hormones cause three critical changes in your cardiovascular system. First, your heart rate increases, meaning your heart begins beating faster to circulate blood more quickly. Second, your blood pressure rises, sometimes significantly, as your body prepares to support movement and alertness. Third, your blood vessels constrict, which helps direct blood flow to essential organs but also increases resistance within the circulatory system. These changes occur rapidly, sometimes within minutes or even seconds. For a healthy, younger individual, this surge is handled efficiently. The blood vessels are elastic, expanding and contracting easily, and the heart adapts smoothly. But for someone over 60, the situation is different. Over time, arteries can develop plaque buildup, a condition known as atherosclerosis. This plaque can remain silent for years, causing no noticeable symptoms. However, when the morning surge hits, the increased pressure and force of blood flow can stress these plaques. In some cases, the plaque can rupture or crack. When that happens, the body reacts by forming a clot at the site. If that clot blocks a coronary artery, it results in a heart attack. This is not a rare or extreme scenario, it is the exact mechanism behind many cardiac events. It happens quietly, quickly, and often without warning, especially in the early hours of the day when the cardiovascular system is already under strain. Another critical factor that most people completely overlook is hydration. After 7 to 8 hours of sleep, your body is naturally in a mildly dehydrated state. You haven't consumed any fluids overnight, yet your body has continued to lose water through breathing and normal metabolic processes. By morning, this results in blood that is slightly thicker and more viscous than it was the night before. This may not sound like a big deal, but it has significant implications for your heart. Think of your heart as a pump and your blood vessels as pipes. When the fluid flowing through those pipes is thin and smooth, the pump operates efficiently with minimal effort. But when the fluid becomes thicker, the pump has to work harder to push it through the system. Every heartbeat requires more force. In addition to increasing the workload on the heart, thicker blood is also more prone to clotting. This is especially important in the morning when clotting factors in the blood are naturally at higher levels. The combination of thicker blood, increased clotting tendency, and elevated blood pressure creates a high-risk environment. This is one of the reasons why strokes and heart attacks are more common in the early morning hours. The simple act of drinking a glass of water upon waking can significantly reduce this risk by thinning the blood and improving circulation. Yet most people reach for coffee first or start their day without hydrating at all, unknowingly putting extra strain on their cardiovascular system. Let's now talk about one of the most popular health trends in recent years, the cold shower. You've probably seen countless videos online of people jumping into ice baths or taking freezing cold showers early in the morning, claiming it boosts energy, improves mood, and builds discipline. While there is some truth to the benefits of cold exposure, the timing of it is absolutely critical, especially for individuals over 60. When cold water hits your skin, your body immediately triggers what's known as the cold shock response. This is an automatic survival mechanism designed to protect your core temperature. Blood vessels near the skin constrict instantly, reducing heat loss. At the same time, your heart rate spikes and your blood pressure increases sharply. In some cases, systolic blood pressure can jump by 20 to 30 points within seconds. This is a significant and sudden cardiovascular stress. Now consider the context of the morning. Your body is already experiencing the hormonal surge we discussed earlier. Your blood pressure is already elevated, your blood is thicker, and your blood vessels are slightly constricted. Adding a sudden cold shock on top of that can push the system beyond its limit. For a younger, healthy individual, this may not cause harm, but for someone with even mild arterial stiffness or undiagnosed plaque buildup, it can be enough to trigger a serious event. In the case of the 67-year-old man, the cold shower acted as the final trigger. His body simply could not handle the combined stress, leading to a cardiac emergency. Now let's talk about what happens in the seconds after you wake up and immediately stand. Most people don't think twice about it. The alarm goes off, and within moments they go from lying flat to standing upright. It feels natural, automatic, but physiologically, this is a major shift for your body. When you're lying down, your blood is evenly distributed throughout your body. Gravity isn't pulling it in any particular direction. The moment you stand, gravity causes a significant portion of your blood to move downward into your legs and lower abdomen. This creates an immediate drop in blood pressure reaching your brain. To compensate, your heart has to react quickly. It increases your heart rate and tightens blood vessels to maintain proper circulation. In younger individuals, this response is fast and efficient. But as we age, this reflex slows down. Blood vessels don't constrict as quickly, and the heart may struggle to compensate immediately. This condition is called orthostatic hypotension. It can cause dizziness, lightheadedness, or even brief blackouts. Many people over 60 experience this and dismiss it as normal aging, but it's actually a warning sign. Beyond discomfort, it increases the risk of falls, which can lead to serious injuries. From a cardiac perspective, that sudden drop in rapid compensation can stress the heart significantly in vulnerable individuals. It can even trigger arrhythmias. A simple solution exists. Instead of jumping out of bed, sit up slowly, let your feet hang, and give your body time to adjust before standing. Now let's examine another hidden factor that affects many people over 60: medication, specifically diuretics, often called water pills. These medications are commonly prescribed to manage high blood pressure or fluid retention. They work by helping your kidneys remove excess fluid from your body, which lowers blood volume and reduces pressure in your arteries. They are effective and widely used, but they come with an important side effect that many people are not aware of. When your body flushes out fluid, it also loses essential minerals, particularly magnesium. Magnesium plays a crucial role in regulating the electrical activity of your heart. It helps maintain a steady rhythm and allows the heart muscle to relax properly between beats. When magnesium levels drop, the heart becomes more susceptible to electrical instability. This can lead to irregular heartbeats, palpitations, or even more serious arrhythmias. The problem is that magnesium deficiency often develops quietly. There are usually no obvious symptoms until something goes wrong. Combine this with the already stressful morning environment, elevated hormones, thicker blood, higher blood pressure, and the risk becomes even greater. Many patients experience irregular heart rhythms in the morning without understanding why. In some cases, simply correcting a magnesium deficiency resolves the issue completely. If you are taking a diuretic, it is worth discussing this with your doctor. A simple blood test can check your magnesium levels and help prevent potential complications before they occur. Let's move on to morning exercise, something that is generally considered one of the best habits for heart health, and that's absolutely true. Regular physical activity strengthens the heart, improves circulation, and reduces long-term cardiovascular risk. However, the timing and intensity of exercise, especially in the morning, are often misunderstood. When you wake up, your body is already under the influence of the morning surge. Your cortisol levels are high, your blood pressure is elevated, and your blood is slightly thicker. Your cardiovascular system is already working harder than it was during sleep. Now imagine immediately starting a vigorous workout, running, lifting weights, or doing high-intensity exercises without any warm-up. This places an additional and sudden demand on your heart. Your heart rate rises quickly on top of an already elevated baseline, blood pressure increases further, and your arteries, which may already be slightly constricted, are forced to deliver more blood at a higher rate. This combination can be risky, particularly for older adults. Research has shown that intense physical exertion in the early morning carries a higher risk of triggering cardiac events in people over 60. This doesn't mean you should avoid morning exercise altogether. It simply means you need to approach it more carefully. Give your body time to wake up fully. Start with gentle movements, light stretching, or a slow walk. Allow your cardiovascular system to adjust gradually before increasing intensity. Think of it as easing into the day rather than launching into it at full speed. At this point, you understand that mornings can be a high-risk period for the heart, especially if certain habits are layered on top of each other. But understanding the problem is only half the equation. The real value comes from knowing what to do differently. That's where a simple, structured approach can make a significant difference. I call it the 5-minute morning protocol. It's not complicated, it doesn't require any equipment, and it doesn't take much time, but it can dramatically reduce the stress placed on your heart during those critical early minutes of the day. The goal of this protocol is to help your body transition smoothly from a resting state to an active state. Instead of shocking your system, you guide it step by step. You allow your heart, blood vessels, and nervous system to adjust gradually. This reduces the risk of sudden spikes in blood pressure, minimizes strain on the heart, and improves overall stability. The beauty of this approach is its simplicity. Anyone can do it regardless of age or fitness level. It doesn't require strength or endurance, just awareness and consistency. Over time, these small adjustments can have a powerful cumulative effect. Many serious cardiac events are not caused by a single dramatic factor, but by the combination of several small stresses occurring at once. By removing or reducing those stresses, you significantly lower your risk. In the next parts, I'm going to walk you through each step of this protocol in detail so you can apply it starting tomorrow morning. The first step of the 5-minute morning protocol begins the moment your alarm goes off. This is what I call conscious waking. Instead of immediately reaching for your phone or jumping out of bed, you stay exactly where you are. Your eyes may be open, but your body remains still. At this moment, your nervous system is transitioning from a sleep state to an active state, and how you handle these first few seconds matters more than you might think. Take 3 slow, deep breaths. Inhale through your nose, allowing your lungs to fill completely, then exhale slowly through your mouth. This simple action activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the part responsible for calming the body and counteracting stress. Remember, your cortisol levels are already rising rapidly at this time. These deep breaths help blunt that surge, preventing your system from becoming overstimulated too quickly. It's a small intervention, but it has a measurable effect on heart rate and blood pressure. You're essentially giving your body a controlled start instead of a chaotic one. This step takes less than 20 seconds, yet it sets the tone for everything that follows. Most people skip this entirely, moving straight into action without giving their body any time to adjust. By pausing and breathing, you create a buffer between sleep and activity, allowing your cardiovascular system to wake up in a more stable and controlled way. The second step is hydration, and it's one of the simplest yet most powerful habits you can build. Before your feet even touch the floor, you reach for a glass of water that you placed beside your bed the night before. You drink the entire glass, preferably at room temperature. This immediately begins to rehydrate your body after hours of fluid loss during sleep. As we discussed earlier, your blood is slightly thicker in the morning, which increases the workload on your heart and raises the risk of clot formation. By drinking water right away, you help thin the blood, improve circulation, and reduce strain on your cardiovascular system. This also supports kidney function and helps regulate blood pressure more effectively. Many people start their day with coffee, which can have a mild diuretic effect and may not provide the hydration your body actually needs. Water should come first. Think of it as priming your system before adding any stimulants. This habit takes less than a minute but has a direct impact on how your heart functions during those critical early hours. Over time, consistent morning hydration can contribute to better overall cardiovascular health and reduce the likelihood of sudden events. The third step focuses on how you transition from lying down to sitting and eventually standing. After finishing your water, you slowly roll onto your side and push yourself up into a seated position on the edge of your bed. This movement should be controlled and unhurried. Once you're sitting, let your feet hang naturally toward the floor. Stay in this position for at least 30 to 60 seconds. During this time, your body begins adjusting to the effects of gravity. Blood starts to shift downward, and your cardiovascular system has the opportunity to respond gradually instead of being forced into an immediate reaction. While sitting, you can gently rotate your ankles in circles, first in one direction and then the other. This activates the muscles in your lower legs, which helps pump blood back toward your heart. It's a simple movement, but it improves circulation and reduces the likelihood of a sudden drop in blood pressure when you stand. This step is particularly important for preventing dizziness and maintaining stability. Many falls occur because people stand too quickly before their body is ready. By taking this short pause, you give your system time to recalibrate, reducing both cardiac strain and the risk of losing balance. The fourth step involves gentle movement while still in a seated position. At this stage, your body is awake but not yet fully active. Instead of jumping straight into walking or exercise, you begin with small, controlled movements that gradually increase circulation. Start by slowly turning your head from side to side, loosening the muscles in your neck. Then roll your shoulders forward and backward a few times to release tension and encourage blood flow to the upper body. You can also stretch your arms upward, reaching gently toward the ceiling, then relax them back down. These movements are not meant to be intense or strenuous. Their purpose is to wake up your muscles and joints in a controlled way. As your muscles begin to engage, they help circulate blood more efficiently, reducing the burden on your heart. Your heart rate increases slightly, but in a gradual and manageable way. This step acts as a bridge between rest and activity, ensuring that your body is prepared for the next phase. Skipping this step and moving directly into standing or walking can create unnecessary strain, especially for older adults. Taking just a minute for gentle movement can make a noticeable difference in how your body feels and performs during the rest of the morning. The fifth and final step of the protocol is standing up, but even this is done with intention. Place both feet firmly on the floor and slowly push yourself upward using your legs. Avoid sudden or jerky movements. Stand at about half your normal speed. Once you are fully upright, don't start walking immediately. Instead, remain still for about 10 seconds. This allows your blood pressure to stabilize in its new position and gives your cardiovascular system time to confirm that everything is functioning properly. During these few seconds, your body completes the transition from rest to activity. Only after this pause should you take your first steps. This might seem like a small detail, but it plays a crucial role in preventing dizziness, maintaining balance, and reducing strain on the heart. Many people rush through this moment, unaware of how important it is. By slowing down and giving your body time to adjust, you reduce the risk of sudden drops in blood pressure and the need for your heart to compensate aggressively. This completes the 5-minute protocol, a simple sequence that prepares your body for the day in a safe and controlled manner. Now take a moment to reflect on everything we've discussed so far. None of these changes are complicated, none require expensive equipment or drastic lifestyle overhauls, yet they directly address some of the most critical risk factors present in the morning hours. The reason this matters so much is that many cardiac events are preventable. They are not caused by a single catastrophic failure, but by a series of small stresses that build up and eventually overwhelm the system. By adjusting your morning routine, you remove several of these stresses at once. You reduce the impact of the hormonal surge, improve blood flow, stabilize blood pressure, and support your heart. During its most vulnerable time of day, these changes may seem minor individually, but together they create a powerful protective effect. This is the difference between starting your day with your body working against you versus working with you. Over time, these habits become automatic, just like your previous routine. The key is consistency. Doing it once is helpful, but doing it every day is what creates lasting change. Think of it as an investment in your long-term health. 5 minutes each morning that could potentially prevent a life-threatening event. In my years as a cardiac surgeon, the cases that stay with me the most are not the rare or complex ones, they are the preventable ones. The individuals who appeared healthy, who felt fine, who had no idea that their daily habits were putting them at risk. I've seen people in their late 60s and early 70s come in after a morning event that could have been avoided with simple awareness. A retired teacher who collapsed shortly after getting out of bed. A grandfather who experienced a cardiac event during his morning routine. These are not isolated incidents. They are part of a pattern that repeats itself across countless households every single day. The common thread is not necessarily poor health, but lack of information. Most people are never told about the morning surge or how their routine can influence their risk. They continue doing what they've always done, assuming it's safe because it's familiar. That's why conversations like this are so important. Awareness is the first step toward prevention. Once you understand the risks, you have the power to change your behavior and protect yourself, and often those changes are far simpler than people expect. One of the most important things to understand is that your morning routine is something you have complete control over. Unlike genetic factors or past lifestyle choices, this is an area where you can make immediate changes. You don't need a prescription, a procedure, or a major intervention. You need knowledge and a willingness to adjust a few habits. This is what makes it such a powerful opportunity for prevention. Many people focus on long-term strategies like diet and exercise, which are absolutely important, but they overlook the impact of daily routines. The first few minutes of your day set the stage for how your body functions in those critical early hours. By making intentional choices during that time, you can significantly reduce stress on your cardiovascular system. It's not about perfection, it's about consistency and awareness. Even small improvements can have a meaningful impact when repeated over time. The goal is not to eliminate all risk, which is impossible, but to reduce it as much as possible in a practical and sustainable way. Your morning routine is one of the easiest places to start. Let's bring everything together into a clear and actionable summary. There are 5 key habits you should focus on starting tomorrow morning. First, take a few deep breaths before moving. This helps calm your nervous system and reduce the impact of the hormonal surge. Second, drink a full glass of water before getting out of bed. This improves blood flow and reduces strain on your heart. Third, sit on the edge of your bed for a short period before standing. This allows your body to adjust to gravity gradually. Fourth, be mindful of medications like diuretics and ensure your magnesium levels are checked if necessary. Fifth, approach morning exercise carefully. Start slow and allow your body to warm up before increasing intensity. These steps are simple, but they directly address the key risk factors present in the morning. By incorporating them into your routine, you create a safer and more supportive environment for your heart. The most important thing is to start. You don't need to change everything at once, but even adopting 1 or 2 of these habits can make a difference. Now think about your own routine. How do you usually wake up? Do you jump out of bed quickly? Do you go straight to coffee? Do you start your day with intense activity? These are common habits, but they may not be serving your body as well as you think. The goal is not to create fear, but to encourage awareness. Once you recognize the patterns, you can begin to adjust them in a way that supports your health. It's also worth sharing this information with others, especially family members or friends who may be in a higher risk age group. Many people simply don't know that these risks exist. By passing on this knowledge, you could help someone avoid a serious health event. Conversations like this can have a ripple effect, spreading awareness and encouraging healthier habits across entire families and communities. The more people understand these risks, the more opportunities there are for prevention. Finally, it's important to remember that while this information is based on medical research and clinical experience, every individual is different. Your personal health history, medications, and overall condition all play a role in how your body responds before making significant changes to your routine, especially if you have existing health conditions. It's always a good idea to consult with your doctor. They can provide guidance tailored to your specific situation. Think of this information as a starting point, a way to begin a conversation about your health and identify areas where small changes can make a big difference. The story of the 67-year-old man serves as a powerful reminder that even ordinary mornings can carry hidden risks, but it also shows that with the right knowledge and timely intervention, positive outcomes are possible. Your heart works continuously, every moment of every day, without pause. Taking just a few minutes each morning to support it is a small effort with potentially life-saving benefits. The choice is yours, and it starts with your next morning.